Hello, it's another brand new day, and I'm super excited that you tuned into my podcast. Thank you so much. I'm so delighted, I'm so invigorated, and I'm so happy that you tuned in, and I trust that you will surely get value, because no time you spend on this podcast, you're on your way to becoming better and better. You're on a pathway to becoming the best version that you can ever be. It's my desire and it's my utmost intention that you get better on a daily basis, because that's one of the essence of life. Every living thing has the capacity to grow, and that means on a day-to-day basis we should be growing and becoming better and better at what we do. And that's my purpose of doing this podcast on a weekly basis, to ensure that you become a masterpiece that the world cannot resist. That when the world look at you and they're like, wow, person is just so amazing and astounding. That can only be possible if you dedicate yourself to a continuous progress and development. I also want to appreciate you for listening to my podcast when I talked about how to become a person of influence, and I talked about 5 things that we must do if we must become a person of influence. Number 1, I talked about content. When I talked about your gifts, your talent, your values you have inside of you will determine how influential you can be, because certainly you can't give what you don't have. So it is the measure of what you have that you can give others. That's to simply say, out of your content, your gift and your talent will determine how others will really be what? Influenced. Number 2, I talked about character, which is your personality and your reputation among people. I made us understand that our actions speak louder than words. And just like a little baby is born, like we're told in philosophy, that everyone born into this world is a tabula rasa, which means a clean slate. You see the child trying to imitate the father and the mother and even everyone around because of what they do. So we must become deliberate in our attempt to influence others. Number 3, I talked about compassion. How compassionate are you? How willing are you to help others get through the situations that they are in? That's very key if you must become influential, because we are naturally indebted to those who have helped us. Number 4, I talked about competence, that your level of skill and knowledge you have concerning something will determine how influential you can be. That's to tell you, a professor is so influential because he has spent time to become proficient in what he does. And so when it comes to the lecture room, he's so influential. It can influence the minds of a student to begin to think like him. Number 5, I talked about consistency, that you can only influence others by what you do on a consistent basis. Not what you did today and you don't do it again. No, you must become consistent at what you do. And so on today's podcast, I would like to share about the pragmatic secrets to a life of lasting influence. You could have all these qualities of which they are so necessary in order for you to become a person of influence. But these secrets I'm about to share to you today, they transcend time. I can tell you, they make your influence become generational, transgenerational. That even while you are long gone, your words and things you did will still be replicated in the lives of people, and your work can never go unnoticed. And that's what I would like to share. And I would like you to take your pen and your notepad and jot down these secrets I'm about to share, because I tell you, they are life-changing. They make your influence to become transgenerational. So join me on this ride as I take you to number 1. Service. A decision and a dedication to serve. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, service is a contribution to the welfare of others. The act of serving, such as a helpful act. Every great man and woman who have ever registered in their name in the annals of history, they were committed to serve others. They first of all made a decision to serve. So it first of all starts with a decision. Do you really want to become a person of influence? Do you want that garner attention? That you do you want to your work to speak even though you are long gone out of the surface of this earth? Then you must make a decision to serve. And it's a way of helping others achieve their purpose and their goal. Mahatma Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. You need to break out from this. You need to break out from the me, myself, and I syndrome. That is a killer syndrome. None of us lives for ourselves. Because why? One, we did not give birth to ourselves. That's to make sure that, make you know that your life is supposed to help others. It's supposed to serve others. So you need to make that decision to serve. A decision to serve. Because when you serve others, they become committed to you. So you must ask yourself, what am I willing to live for? What is my life's purpose? What can I do for this generation? One of America's president, John F. Kennedy, once said, don't think about what America can do for you, but think about what you can do for America. And so that philosophy alone, it has made the nation of America to become so relevant in the affairs of the world. Every one of us must make a decision to serve. What can you do for others? The most influential people that ever lived in the surface of this earth never lived for themselves. According to a research by in the Worthy Gorilla, 25 most influential people that ever lived on the surface of the earth, a research was done. Most influential people of all time. Number one of which is the most influential person in the whole world. Number one said about Jesus Christ. Number two, about Einstein. Number three, Isaac Newton. 4, Leonardo da Vinci. 5, Aristotle. 6, Muhammad. 7, Galileo Galilei. 8, Alexander the Great. 9, Charles Darwin. 10, Plato. 11, William Shakespeare. 12, Martin Luther King Jr. 13, Socrates. Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Moses, Adolf Hitler, Nikola Tesla, Gautama Buddha, Julius Caesar, Karl Marx, Martin Luther, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Johannes Gutenberg. These men that rose to become one of the most 25 most influential people that ever lived, they committed themselves to a life of service. They served humanity with the whole of their lives. And that's why history cannot forget them. History can never forget this kind of persons, because they made sure they served humanity. Jesus Christ, the founder of the Christian religion, did not come to live for himself. In one instance, he said he did not come to be served, but that he came to serve others. So if the most influential man on the surface of the earth that ever lived understood service to the core, then I tell you, if you can make that decision and dedicate yourself to a life of service, you will forever be relevant in the world. Generations will continually remember you for your good works. A life of service, selflessness to a cause, to a goal, in order to become better and better. Every one of us must commit ourselves to a life of service. Number 2 of which is almost same is support. Les Brown once said, help others achieve their dreams and you will achieve yours. How willing are you able to support others will determine your level of influence you can ever attain in life. Martin Luther King also said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? Those who do things for others, they can never be forgotten. The dictionary defines support as to promote the interest or cause of something. It means to assist and it means to help. How? You must ensure to support everyone around you if you must rise. Robert Ingersoll once said, we rise by lifting others. That's the way we rise. Every great and influential man that ever lived, they lifted others. Socrates was the mentor of Plato, and Plato became the mentor of Aristotle. That's to make you understand that how willing you are to support others will determine how high you will rise. Supporting another's success won't ever dampen yours. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. Do well to always, 1, serve and support people. Support your friends. Listen to their ideas. Go to their event. Share their posts. Celebrate in their victories. And remind them of their importance after their failures. A little support can go a very long way in someone's life. A little support. Make it a commitment to support everyone that have a dream, that have a business that is around you. And I can tell you, you discover that your influence level will rise on it exponentially. If you can commit yourself to support people, 1, to serve, 2, to support, posterity will never forget you. Because why? Those kind of persons, they always rise. So in this influence series, as I'll be ending it today, is to make you understand you must live a life of service and of support to humanity. Thank you so very much for listening to my podcast for today. It's my pleasure. Always remember that whatever you do for yourself will perish, but whatever you do for others will stand the test of time. And it is what we do for others that ensures that our names are written in gold. That ensures that our names are written in the sands of time. So thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Do well to comment, like, and share. I remain your host, Andrew Olugbo. And you can reach me via on Facebook on Andrew Olugbo, on Instagram, Andrew Olugbo, on Twitter, on Olugbo_Andrew. And thank you so very much. Have a beautiful week and God bless.